The conversation in politics, governance, or any public endeavor leaving the stage when the ovation is loudest or quitting an office when incapacitated to deliver is the hallmark of effective leadership. In the face of mounting security challenges across Nigeria, the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, in his resignation letter, Badaru cited health challenges as the reason for stepping down. In a demonstration of his desire for improved security, President Bola Tinubu has nominated the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, retired General Christopher Musa, as the new Minister of Defense. In a letter to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, President Tinubu conveyed General Musa's nomination as the successor to Badaru, who resigned on Monday. In the letter, President Tinubu expressed confidence in General Musa's ability to lead the Ministry of Defense and further strengthen Nigeria's security architecture. Okay, BKO, welcome back. It's been a while we did this. I've missed you. All right.
If you have your way, I won't even travel for one day.
I'm telling you, I've really missed you. But BKO, the President has nominated General Christopher Musa, retired, as the Defense Minister, pending Senate confirmation. Talk to me. What are your expectations?
Yes, he's bringing in someone who is very familiar with that ecosystem. He's been Corps Commander of the Infantry Brigade. That is the biggest corps of officers and men in the Nigerian Army, the Infantry Corps. He's been theater commander of Operation Hardin Kai. Operation Hardin Kai is the country's biggest, in my view, theater of war. And he did very well there. That his emergence as a service chief was expected. In fact, the idea of Boko Haram fighters giving up their weapons and opting for peace was what General Musa pushed aggressively against and pushed aggressively for. And so much progress was made in his time in terms of arming the troops of our biggest theater of war, as well as procuring weapons for them to use. And even as he moved, as he became the Chief of Defense Staff, service chief, he also did very well. Many people didn't think he should have left at the time when the president decided to retire him.
Okay.
But the enhanced condition of service of Nigerian Army or Nigerian forces shows clearly that after 2 years as a service chief, you have to go except the president thinks otherwise. So the president reserves the right to let you go after just 2 years. That is stipulated in the enhanced condition of service of the Nigerian forces. So many people thought that they were going to be led for 4 years the way President Buhari did, but it's because they were not familiar with the condition of service. So I think he did well, he did very well, and President must have felt that, look, at this time with things getting really bad, that he needed someone who has experience,
yes.
and who has seen it all.
Battle tested.
to step in. And many people too had criticized the idea of putting politicians. You remember what Senator Fadamsi said, that when you make a politician, a core politician, Minister of Defense, you put a businessman in charge of the defense of our country. And he argued that you needed to put people who have experience as servicemen. And you cannot say that Christopher Musa does not have. So it fits the bill. You know.
All right, Emeka Madunago, how do you weigh in?
I'm fine. Yeah, it's okay. Bring him in, you know. But I think he needs to focus more on the problems at hand. I didn't agree with some of the proposals he made as chief of defense staff, talking about fencing Nigeria and all. Those are long-term things. We have very serious issues at hand, you know, and we need to really find quick strategies to deal with those issues. Then we can maybe start thinking later of it, because when you talk about fencing, it negates the free movement protocol of ECOWAS, you know. So rather we should encourage more open borders, but safer open borders through collaboration. You know, previous administrations made considerable gains in terms of dealing with insecurity, but unfortunately, they won territories and left those territories unguarded. They left them, you know, just like that. And so these criminals were still able to find their way into these territories. You push Boko Haram back. Remember, Boko Haram went as far as Kogi when they attacked some Air Force men, and we said it was Ansaro. But you now clear them away, move them back. But what happened? How come then these other terrorists from this other side now came in, moved down to Kogi, moved down to Ondo, you know, where they attacked that, you know, St. Francis Catholic Church.
So what do you expect from the new
So what I expect from him is that he should prioritize, maybe have a 3-point agenda. He has to improve troops' morale. Maybe ask the president to do something about their maybe salaries, conditions of service to improve. You must, before you send people out to fight, they must be sufficiently motivated. So you must improve their morale. 2, you must, you know, you were a theater commander. So just take that, the strategies, because when it was announced, you know, you saw how his boys carried him and they were dancing all over the place. So what you need to do, you must identify the key points where you will encourage the service chiefs to strike decisively. I mean, look at what was said about the army today in Kogi State, Echiba Forest, where people were kidnapped, but, you know, through a joint collaboration, they were able to rescue those people. So there should be, the third one should be interagency cooperation. There must be interagency cooperation, you know. We're not looking for, you know, individual heroes, you know. They must collaborate so that with that 3-point agenda, honestly, in a short time, we will have...
all right, then. We have Kolaole Johnson joining us from Abuja. Kolaole Johnson, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Kolaole Johnson, the president has nominated General Christopher Musa as the defense minister. Talk to me. What are your expectations?
I think sometimes 2 weeks ago or early last week, I was talking to Mr. Babajide Soju, and I told him that I was expecting that the general is likely going to come in as the Minister of Defense, and this has been the expectation in some informed quarters, and now the president has done that. Honestly, like our friend was saying, you need to understand the impact of the man Musa in the military, in the armed forces, what he did when he was there. In terms of welfare that he was trying to mention, he was one person that was practically reaching out to his cosmate. He was there. You know, you need to see how loved that this man is. You know, besides, leave the character, leave the love on the job. Is the fact that what is it bringing on board? It's is bringing his years of experience, not just as a competent, soldier on the field, but also as one who understands, multinational operations. Of course, he was the one that led the Commander Sector 3 of the Joint Forces for Lake Chad. So he's been there. He's been to the, he's been to the theater of war of the Boko Haram. So he is coming with experience. And by the way, let's even, be explicit. What is the job of the Ministry of Defense? It is driving the entire defense policy, the national defense policy for the country. And that can be left in the hands of those who do not have the experience to do that. Of course, no. Of course. And they are meant to not just coordinate the entire military operations, they are also meant to advise the president on all issues of security. Not just that, they are involved in procurement of arms and all of that. So I think he's about the fittest that we've gotten thus far. And that is also by extension to say, sorry, I'm coming, please. By extension to say that it appears that the president, of course, is not just serious about tackling this. He knows that the time, because he has shown that urgency. Less than 24 hours after the former minister resigned, they brought in a new person. And we also expect that, urgency to be brought into the other areas. Of course, we heard earlier that there will be a cabinet reshuffling. Yeah, that there will be a cabinet reshuffling. We're expecting that very quickly. And we understand the fact that, please hold on, that the present Minister of State, of course, used to give orders to the then Chief of Defense Staffs, now the Minister of Defense. And it would be good for the polity to allow the Minister of State to go to a different place entirely. Besides, he doesn't have the experience in, anything defense, of course, in the first instance. So it should be let out of that place so that General Musa can handle that place and bring his experience on board without any altercation, so that we can get a result that we want.
All right, lots of things you said there, Vicky, and I know you're still going to react to it. But to be honest, talk about the minister that resigned. To be honest, I was shocked when I heard the news, when the news broke. But talk to me, were you surprised when the news broke?
I was surprised. I didn't see that coming at all, except you want me to lie here, and I won't do that because there's no need to lie. It came as a surprise, but in the kind of job that we do, we've grown accustomed to surprises. It happens all the time. So I'm just happy that his resignation gives us a chance to put somebody in his place who is more familiar with the terrain, whom we expect to do a much better job. People like the current Chief of Defense Staff, were people who worked under him.
Yes.
So it's he will be dealing with people that is familiar with, and people who respect him. So I think that General Musa will be able to do a good job. He's not a politician. He may find that difficult, but I think he will do a much better job. Now, there is a misconception in Nigeria.
Okay.
A minister of state is not inferior to the minister. The Constitution does not place a minister
of state,
and there is even no such thing as a substantive minister. They are all ministers, and they all have assigned roles.
So, okay.
As Minister of State for Defense, Matawale is in charge of the Navy, is in charge of the military institutions, all those NDAs, War College, all of that. The Minister of Defense in charge of the Army, which is the largest of the armed forces, is in charge of the Air Force, which is the third largest. That's after Navy. So when you are Minister of State, you are not inferior to the minister. The Constitution does not say one is supervised by the other, one is under the other. But Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians believe that, oh, because they call you Minister of State. No, you are not inferior.
They're all equal.
Yes, you have your roles. I've just explained to you now that the Minister of State for Defense is in charge of the Navy. And that was why Matawale expected Wike to have contacted him.
Okay, based on
because
the naval officer.
Yes, he has the mandate to oversight the Navy as well as the military institutions. So both men, if with Musa coming in now, he has his job cut out for him. He does not have to interfere in what the other man does. And even using civilians as Minister of State is not a new thing globally. I've seen even women without a background in the armed forces become Minister of Defense in some countries. Women, Germany. You know? So it makes sense. Let's see what the two ministers will do at this time. We all agree that there's a need for us to get more serious than before.
I get you. Now, with this resignation, do you think it gives us an opportunity for a complete strategic reset in the fight against terrorism and banditry now?
Of course. No. What the minister said in that interview clearly showed one or two things. Either he completely lacked knowledge, technical knowledge of how the military operates, or he misunderstood. No, maybe he misunderstood the information he was given. So clearly, there was this issue of technical incompetence. Because you can't say forests are not be. I mean, when the U.S. bombed the nuclear facilities on the ground, what are forests that, So what really needs to happen?
I find it difficult to believe. Except he was misquoted.
Well, but he has not denied it.
Well, sometimes, the judges who were lied against that they were singing.
No, of course.
On your
they have to be seen and not heard.
They didn't. The fact that they did not deny
which is
does not mean that it's true.
That is true.
Some of us had to come and expose the shameless liars who accused judges of singing Tinubu's on your mandate. You know, when it didn't happen. Up till now, that challenge that I threw, I'm still waiting for Chidi Odinkalu to produce that video. I'll be very happy if he can produce a video of those judges singing. It's not fair that this sort of thing should be happening. So you cannot say that when they drop a bomb in a forest, that it will not have the kind of impact that will even look, Emeka, in the northeast, the northeast is not like the south.
Yes.
We are talking about woodlands.
Savannah, that is
yes. So that's why I don't understand that anybody will make that kind of statement. If we drop the kind of bombs that America uses to teach people a lesson, 2,000-pound bombs. Carried
to create a crater.
To create a crater, they will even sink. They will sink into the hole. What are we talking about?
All right, gentlemen, because of our time, let's move straight to our next conversation.